Hello, this is Monica Reinagel, and this week on the Nutrition Diva podcast, we're talking about an extremely common but relatively little known health condition called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and how you can help your liver heal itself with a healthy diet. It's normal to have a certain amount of fat in your liver because processing dietary and blood fats is a big part of what your liver does. But in certain situations, fat can start to build up in the liver, and if that goes on unchecked, it can cause inflammation, liver damage, and even liver cancer. In its early stages, fatty liver doesn't really cause any symptoms. It's most likely to be detected through a physical exam, during which your doctor might be able to feel that your liver is enlarged. Blood tests, imaging, and/or biopsies can then confirm this diagnosis. Now, many people associate liver disease with alcohol abuse, but most people suffering from fatty liver disease are not alcoholics. And it's also important to note that eating a high-fat diet doesn't necessarily lead to fatty liver disease. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is more likely to be caused by chronically high blood sugar and insulin resistance, which we tend to see in people who are overweight, as well as those with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. At last count, over 1/3 of the adult population has some degree of fatty liver, and that's about the same percentage as suffers from type 2 diabetes. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is actually the most common chronic liver condition in the world. Now, fatty liver disease often goes hand in hand with other risk factors for heart disease as well, such as high triglycerides. And in fact, people with this condition are much more likely to die of heart disease than they are to die of liver disease. Okay, enough with the bad news. Here's the good news. Fatty liver disease can often be reversed and the liver be restored to full health through diet and lifestyle changes. Before I get into some details for you, I want to thank our sponsor, HelloFresh. They are on a mission to save home cooking by making cooking more fun, because the best way to kick those 5 p.m. excuses is by feeling unstoppable in the kitchen. And when you have fresh, healthy ingredients all ready to go and easy to follow recipes that produce terrific meals in just 30 minutes, you'll want to keep doing it again and again. You can choose from their classic box, veggie box, or family box, and you can order 3, 4, or 5 different meals per week that are designed to serve either 2 or 4 people. It all comes to your door for less than $10 a meal. I love being able to just open the fridge, take out a kit, and start cooking without having to dig up recipes or run to the store for the ingredient I don't have. And the pre-measured ingredients really help cut down on food waste. For $30 off your first week of HelloFresh, visit HelloFresh.com and enter DIVA30 as your promo code. And now here are 5 tips that can help you reverse a fatty liver. If you are overweight, the number one thing you can do to reverse this condition is to lose some weight. Losing even 5% of your body weight can be enough to start rolling back the damage, even if you're still significantly overweight at that point. Although continuing to lose weight may offer further benefits, you're really much better off losing a modest amount of weight and keeping it off than you are losing a large amount of weight but then regaining it. And it's also important to lose that weight gradually, because rapid weight loss can actually make non-alcoholic fatty liver disease temporarily worse. Fortunately, slow weight loss is easier to achieve and easier to sustain. Number 2, reduce your intake of sugar and other refined carbohydrates. Because these foods are rapidly converted to blood sugar, eating a lot of sugar and refined flour can lead to chronically elevated blood sugar levels. And this in turn triggers the release of insulin from the pancreas, which works to clear blood sugar out of the bloodstream and into cells. But if your body is constantly releasing insulin in order to deal with a constant influx of sugar, the cells can become resistant to its effects, sort of the way you start to tune out noise if it's constantly in the background. When your cells stop responding to insulin, you end up with chronically high blood sugar and chronically high blood insulin levels, and you are well on your way to diabetes if you're not there already. But all is not lost. By cutting down on sugary, starchy foods, you can lower your blood sugar levels and reduce the amount of insulin that your body is calling for. Over time, your cells will start to become more responsive, sort of the way you'd be more likely to hear your phone ringing in a quiet house than you would in a noisy cafe. In some cases, your doctor may suggest a prescription drug that also helps improve insulin sensitivity, and this can be useful, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a long-term solution. My third tip is to make sure you're getting most of your fat from healthy sources. It's not necessary to go on a low-fat diet, but you do want to emphasize foods that are rich in monounsaturated fats, such as olive oil and avocado, and omega-3 fats found in fish and flaxseed. Meanwhile, saturated fats from meat, dairy, and butter, and omega-6 fat from vegetable oils should really be in the background. Number 4, you want to ramp up your intake of antioxidant-rich foods. Oxidative stress is another feature that's common to type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, and heart disease. But research on the use of antioxidant supplements in these conditions have shown mixed results. A better strategy is to increase your intake of antioxidants from foods like non-starchy vegetables, fruits, mushrooms, herbs, spices, and don't forget tea and coffee. You know, the Mediterranean diet pattern tends to promote a healthy balance of fats, a low intake of sugar, and lots of antioxidant-rich foods, all the things that we're talking about here. And not surprisingly, it has been shown to be helpful for those with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. That would be a great place to start. And my final tip is to exercise, but in a balanced way. Regular exercise can help improve your insulin sensitivity, which can in turn help to reverse fatty liver. But a balance of cardiovascular exercise, such as walking, cycling, and jogging, and strength training with weights or resistance bands or even just your own body weight is more effective than simply getting your heart rate up. So you want to try to get some cardiovascular exercise on a daily or near daily basis, but be sure to include some strength training once or twice a week. And for more tips on putting together a great fitness program, check out the Get Fit Guy podcast, which is now hosted by the amazing Brock Armstrong. So here's the bottom line. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, in addition to being a mouthful to say, can be an awfully scary and intimidating diagnosis to receive, but it can also be a warning sign of bigger troubles ahead. Fortunately, it's also one of those things that you can turn around by making a commitment to a healthier diet and lifestyle. The liver has an almost miraculous ability to heal itself if we simply give it a bit of a break. For more information and resources on non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, you can visit the American Liver Foundation at liverfoundation.org. And in the transcript for today's show, which is at quickanddirtytips.com, I've also included links to recent research on this condition, as well as several previous episodes that can help you implement these 5 tips. And as always, I'll be fielding your comments and questions on the Nutrition Diva Facebook page. Thanks for listening and have a great week.